I don't understand the technology. That's the problem. It just does, it does the spinning wheel. They're all waiting for me and it freezes. You know, it's quite embarrassing. Hello, welcome to my first live stream in ages, or I should say public live stream. Today is going to be a very special day for me because those of you who've been following my channel for a while may know the yearly tradition of me doing a rundown of the 10 states that watched me the most throughout the previous year. But I thought I'd make it a bit interesting this year. In addition to doing that particular video, which we'll do in a live stream on January 1st, today we're going to look at those that watch me the least. And this, don't worry, if you're from a state that makes this list, this isn't a reflection on you, right? This isn't kind of a job appraisal or anything like that. It's more a reflection on me because A, I go high pitched inopportune moments like that. And B, I've obviously just not been doing enough work to get your state to watch me. And I think that's got to be part of the plan over the next year. So if your state does make this list and you happen to be a fan from that state, firstly, thank you. And secondly, let's get your state out of the bottom 10 next year. That's got to be the goal, right? Surely we'll work together to make it happen. So firstly, before I get underway, I just want to say a big thank you to Angie for donating $10 just now to Lost in the Pond, apparently my #1 fan. But Angie, you do have some competition because we got another $10 donation earlier on before we got started from Jameis, who is also my #1 fan. So this is amazing. And thank you also to D. That G&T will come in handy because it's Friday night and that's how this goes. So before we get underway, and I've already said that sentence 3 times, I said I wouldn't repeat myself, but I have. I'm sorry. Before we get underway, I just want to make a clarification here. There's probably some of you thinking, oh, you know, this list of the states that watched me the least is unfair because places like Alaska and Delaware, I'm just plucking places out of my head, have smaller populations. Therefore, of course, they're going to watch you less. But I've done it as a percentage of the population, so it evens everything out. So I've done it as a sort of per capita look across all of my analytics by state. And it makes for very exciting reading, especially if you're a boring nerd like me. Right, so we don't have long, so I will, without further ado, get underway. And despite everything I just said in that clarification, the first state on our list today is, how do we add in a drum roll? You can't do it, you can only do it after the fact. That's pathetic. The first state today is the biggest state in the union. It is Alaska. So it's obviously got a very small population, but that doesn't matter in here. Just to reiterate that, this is all about how many people are watching it as a percentage of each state's population. Alaska's in at number 10. No, is that the right way of looking at this? Because we're doing a countdown of the bottom 10. Yeah, it's the 10th lowest. So we're going to go down in reverse order, I think. I don't know what I'm saying. It's late on a Friday. Okay, firstly, so Alaska, I would love to get more people watching from Alaska. It's kind of hard to do. I think one of the reasons that perhaps, you know, word of mouth hasn't spread about my channel in Alaska is that it is so, you know, sparsely populated. So, you know, Mavis, plucking a name out of the air, can't easily go to David, who lives 400 miles away, and say, oh, have you checked out Lawrence Brown and his silly uncle Toby, who I've just realized is on the live stream. Hi, Uncle Toby. And so maybe that's it. Although we live in an internet world where things spread. So I really don't know. But what I will say, and I'm going to say this for all of the entries on this list, I do have a video suggestion for any of those folks that are in Alaska that might be sort of interested in me talking about your state. And in fact, I did in a video not too long ago. And I'm going to post a link to it right here. And this video is just coming through now. You should all see it. I don't want to put these in the description yet because it's going to give away which states are which. But this video that I'm posting for Alaskans is how much of the US is actually parallel with Britain. And Alaska plays a central role in the answer to that question. So I just think it'd be a nice one for you all to check out. Let me know, by the way, if you are from Alaska and you're in the house, and then I will applaud you for being one of 3 people. That's not true. I mean, it's in the hundreds, so that's the good thing. All of these are at least in the thousands, I think, which is good. Okay, so next up, and I do see that we got 1 or 2 more donations. So thank you to Sarah. I'm not amazing. You're amazing. All right. And then as well as, excuse me, just skipped over a few here. Gamer Cat 71 from your, that's what I like, a bit of honesty. My 543rd fan. So thank you for that. And see if we got any more. I think, oh, we did. We got another one from D. Thank you for your donation. If you would like to support the channel, you're free to do so. You can do that here in the super chat. And that's one of the great things about it. And just make sure I haven't missed anyone. Okay, great. So back to what I was talking about. Next state on the list. This is number 9. We can't leave them off the list because that state, it's another cold one, potentially during the winter. It's also another fairly sparsely populated one. And that's North Dakota. Do we have any North Dakotans in the house? I've definitely covered North Dakota in many videos before. I've never been. It's something that is a bit of a lamentation. Any state that I've not been to is exactly that. I definitely want to see all of these with my own arms. That's not the right saying. Never mind. North Dakota, you made it. You are 9th on the list of states that watch me the least. Again, I will, reach out to you and try. I'll send you some mail and leave it in a location. I'll do a treasure hunt. I could do a treasure hunt in all of these states to, just to garner some interest in what I have to say. But I do have something to say to you, and that is you may or may not feature in a video I did called 5 US states with way colder winters than Britain. I mean, it sounds like it's an exaggeration, or rather it's Captain Obvious. But the video itself sort of details exactly how much colder. So I'm going to send my North Dakotan friends a link to that video. And if you know people who are interested in the types of topics that I'm sharing with you today, and they happen to live in the state as well, that would be a nice bonus. Then definitely share these videos with them. I think it's a good way to sort of encourage people to get on board. Thank you, Sean, for that $10.01 donation. Like the additional cent there, that'll go toward my, I don't know what you can buy for a cent. I don't think you can anymore. Okay, so that's coming through for North Dakotans. And let me see, I'm just going to take a quick gander in the comments here just to see who we've got and from where. Looks like we are covered by a number of states today, so that's good. And do we have any North Dakotans in the house? D says, Lawrence, you got to watch Fargo. You know what? I have got to see it in that I haven't seen it yet, which is sad on my part, but I will catch up. I have not said Nebraska, Lisa. You're correct. I haven't said it yet. Ooh, is it on the list? Stay tuned. I don't want to get your hopes up if that's what you want. All right. And we do. We have many states covered here today, and I'm really glad to see that. I mean, at this point, even though these states are the least watching ones, they are at least still watching, in the thousands. And that makes me very happy because it means I can, I think, viably talk about all of the states in a meaningful way and in a way that makes sense to my audience, hopefully. So that's part of the future here. All right. So now let's take a look at which state came in at number 8. Again, despite what I said at the start about how low populated states aren't necessarily what make up this list, it is nonetheless one of those places that has more cows than people. And that is not Nebraska. It's Wyoming. Wyoming, you made the list. You are there at number 8 in this. And I think it would be quite appropriate to share with you a similar video I did to the one that I just shared. And that is 7 states with way more snow than England. And when I made that video, I think it was actually earlier this year, I was kind of surprised to see Wyoming on it, because I always think of, the states that are bordering Canada, as well as Alaska and things like that. But Wyoming just got on by a hair. And so I think that could be a worthwhile watch for anybody that wants to hear me say the name Wyoming. Wyoming. My favorite fact about Wyoming is that it has only, is it 1 or 2 escalators? I don't even know the fact. I've forgotten all my this is the problem when I go live. I don't remember anything, and I can't edit myself. All right, so my good Wyoming fans, and I think we have. No, I just saw the word Wyoming. I thought we had somebody in the house from that very state. But here comes, thank you, Sarah, the 2 escalators. I'm going to share that link in the comments to that particular video regarding snow. And thank you, Uncle Toby. I see the donation, $19.99. It's like you're a sales clerk. You just got to knock off that 1 cent so that, it looks cheaper, although this is a donation, so it doesn't work that way around. Yeah, but thank you anyway. I really do appreciate it. He's going all out, isn't he? He bought me a jumper sweater and a hat, as well as donating to Lost in the Pond, which is really good. Okay. We got some love for Wyoming. This is from CJ Hansen. Been there a few times. It's one of those places I was so close to visiting last year, actually. I was in Idaho, and I was so close to the Wyoming border, but I just didn't get a chance to go over it. But I will at some point visit some of the nice national parks there, the two big ones. Dee, thank you again. And asking where to buy British goods in Chicago. During the pandemic, I'm not really sure, but there are 1 or 2 places in Chicago where you can buy British goods for those of you who happen to live in the city. I will have to get back to you all on that at some point. Maybe I'll post about it here down below. Thank you, Tawaka Biamas, for the $5. Love from Georgia. Okay, so stay tuned then. We're going to go on through the rest of these states, and stay tuned to see if yours made it. And stay tuned particularly to see which one watched me the least. Put your guesses down below as to which one did watch me the least. And we are going to go through the rest of them. Next up, though, we're still kind of in that area. It does break away from this kind of area here after this one. But we mentioned North Dakota just a moment ago. South Dakota, you're up, because you've not been watching me as much as many other states, most of the other states. And again, probably that's down to me. I could do more to make that happen. This is particularly true of South Dakota, actually, because I went through my backlog. I did a search, keyword search through all of my scripts, through all of my YouTube videos, and I couldn't find one that sort of meaningfully covered South Dakota. I've certainly mentioned South Dakota here and there, usually in the context of, Mount Rushmore or something like that. But I think that that's a lesson to me that I need to, for the next 5 weeks, I'm just going to do videos about South Dakota now. That's Vlogmas for you and the rest of the year. I'm kidding. Don't get your hopes up. But I will come back to that at some point. I think it's going to be pretty useful. Okay, so back to it then. Unfortunately, I don't have a link for South Dakotans. You did get a bonus mention, though, in the video about cold temperatures that I shared earlier on. All right, back to it. And so what are we at now? We've gone through to number, I'm going to count down again, 10, 9, 8, 7. So we're now down to number 6 on the list. And thank you for those donations, Leslie and Dee again. Where is the Lost in the Pond merch? It's in my basement. Only I get to see that. And maybe everyone else soon. But you're going to have to hang tight. I will get to that. I think I'd love to sell merch that people can look back on in 5 years' time and go, who on earth was he? I don't remember that. So we'll see. Okay. So back to it. Number 6 on the list. How many fingers do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, including this thumb. And speaking of thumb, that's the giveaway for this one. Those of you who have seen my thumbnail for today will realize that Louisiana is on this list. And indeed, it is in at number 6. And I have a bit of a history video-wise with Louisiana. I've unfortunately never been. Can't wait to do so when it is safe to do so. Louisiana, you're a bit bigger in terms of the population now. The next few videos coming up, a bit bigger in terms of all of that. But I did, cover you quite extensively, I think, in one video, which I think that Louisianans might be interested in checking out. And that video was 8 US bridges that dwarf Britain's longest. And until this year, I had no idea that Louisiana was sort of this, I don't know, mecca of bridge structures, huge ones. And so I think that anybody that's kind of interested in not only bridges, because who's not interested in bridges? I love a good bridge, but also just clear references, many references to the state of Louisiana in that very video. And Egg Stew says New Orleans is the best city, and I can't comment, having never been, but I've heard many good things. Okay, so that's going through. I really should be naming these, shouldn't I? That was really silly of me. I'm just putting the links. Okay, so back up then. All right, we're down to the top 5, or is it bottom 5? I think we'll call it the bottom 5 of states that watch me the least. Actually, that's a double negative, so that would mean watch me the most. It is the top 5 of states that watch me the least. We should have scripted this. Goodness me. Number 5 on this list. It's a small state. In fact, area-wise, it's the smallest state, but it isn't the least populated. And in fact, it's got a fairly high population density. I think you all hopefully have an idea of which state I'm talking about. Famously small. I see it there from PV 1230. That is Rhode Island. Rhode Island did make the list. And it's funny because, Rhode Island has, I suppose, some historic connections with the UK, just as a lot of the East Coast does, from when our people came over and colonized the United States, or that part of the United States. But I really haven't covered it too much. It did make a surprising appearance in a video I did called 6 US cities with surprisingly British weather. I should caveat this, that Rhode Island doesn't have completely British weather. That would be a complete lie. But there are certain facets of its weather that, compared to everywhere around it, actually sort of just meet the numbers that Britain on average throws up. So I would encourage anybody that's into weather, as well as into their Rhode Island trivia, to check out this video. I'm going to post a link to that as well here in the comments. All right. Okay. Thank you. Right, and we've got representation from Baton Rouge. That's Mike. Hello, Mike, and hello everyone, or anyone who's from any of these states. Thank you there for the donation, Mary, sending holiday happiness from Lynn, Massachusetts. Stay tuned to see if your state made the list. Let me just go back up here. Okay, great. So we are moving on. We are now down to the final 4, as they say in basketball and probably other things. We have next up, it is a state, another smallish one in terms of size, but it is moderately populated, I suppose. It's not huge in terms of that. That place, I'll give you a clue. It is from a French word, which they believe to mean Green Mountain. How good's your French? I saw we had a few Canadians in the house tonight, so hopefully you'll be able to get it. Green Mountain, though, I'm just waiting to see who's good at the old trivia. It's Friday night. I mean, you do Friday night pub trivia, don't you? I see it there from Tim, VT, and also PV1230 again, and Steve. It is indeed Vermont. Vermont is number 4 on the list. Gotta get you watching me more in Vermont, that's for sure. I think, when I think of Vermont, I think of its sort of French history rather than British, although there is an element of that too. But the big thing that stood out to me was it also made it onto the list of 7 states with way more snow than England. And again, it's Captain Obvious, but I just wanted to detail in that video exactly how much more snow, and I go into those great details. So I will share that with you again, even though that one was shared earlier. It looks like I've got daylight coming on me. I've just realized, even though, of course, it's night. Oh, I just went all weird there. Sorry about that. Okay. Great. Do we have anybody from Vermont in the house? Say hello if you do. I really shot myself in the foot with this video, though, didn't I? Because the people that need to hear this don't watch my videos, so they're probably not on the line. But thank you again, Dee. I would love a Lost in the Pond pub trivia live stream Friday. That'd be good, wouldn't it? So long as I'm not the person answering the trivia, because under pressure, I'm rubbish at quizzes. Unless I can edit it. Thank you, Christian. As a Vermont native, now living in New Orleans, I feel obligated to make it up to you. Well, thank you. And obviously, it looks like both of your states made the list today. So I very much appreciate that donation. All very useful when we talk about this channel and how to support it. All right, great. So where are we at? We're at 8:22. That's the time. That's not the order in this listing. That would be weird. Can you imagine how long that would be if we did 822 states? There aren't that many, so you can't. All right, back to the list, Lawrence. Down to the final 3. We're down to the final 3. Before I go on, who is excited for New Year's Day to see which states made the top 10 of most viewed for my channel? I'm excited to release that information. It's going to be great. We're going to party. I feel like we should have partied for this. I mean, this isn't me angry at any state in particular. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? All right, so I will go back to my list, and number 3 on the list, it is another small one. Again, it doesn't have the sparse population that an Alaska or a South Dakota might have, but it is the second smallest state in the union by area. So let's continue this quiz before I announce it. It came in from Mike. I see it there. And does anyone else have it? Think of the question. We have it there from Regina Lake and many others of you. It is indeed Delaware. What did Delaware? Alaska. You've all heard that before. I didn't make that up. I wish I could say I did, because it's just genius. All right. And Mark says Hawaii. Stay tuned is all I can say. Thank you to the 2 donations that just came in. It's moving pretty fast, so I've just got to go back up and see who those were from. Billy, thank you. I'm 100% sure my great state of Wyoming will be on this if it hasn't been said already. And Billy, if you're late to the party, it was indeed mentioned. It came in at number 3 on the list, or I should say number 8 on the list, going in the reverse order. And I think I'll go back in a minute because I did see there was another donation, but thank you, What a Day Rose. Thank you for your work, she says, he or she, sorry, from Missouri. All right, Missouri, there's a state I've been to, St. Louis. And thank you, Kurt, who says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. And okay, it's all rather getting away from me. I know I had another donation, and I would like to quickly take a look. And that's from OK Genitive. Thank you for that. Top 10 states with most increased views. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? To see how they performed compared to last year. We will do that in the top 10, hopefully, of this year, just because I have last year's data and I've already covered it. So it's going to be easy for me to see that. Okay, back to it then. So we're down to the final 2 now. Anybody want to take any guesses to what the final 2 might be? We've got an Ohio guess. That's from SJ Laru 1. I'm reading that as I see it. That's how I did that. I've got another Ohio in the house. But I have to tell you, it's not Ohio. Ohio is fairly high on the list just because of my presence in the Midwest, I think. You'll notice there weren't too many, if any, Midwestern states on this list, just because I think that I've done a lot of videos about the Midwest and it tends to pull in people that live here. And Trisha's hoping not West Virginia. Well, here's the thing about West Virginia. I've done just enough videos on that great state, having visited it a number of times. And it pulled in a lot of new subscribers. And so I can reveal West Virginia is safe. It is not in the bottom 10. I'm seeing a lot of guesses come in here. I don't think I've seen either of the two yet, but I will hold on there. I'm going to announce now number 2. Before I do that, though, I'm just going to thank Dexter Martin. Greetings from Alberta, Canada. Hello. Great to have Canadian representation. And Mike's got it. Mike's got number 2 here when he says Mississippi. Mississippi is the second state in the union that watches me the least. I have certainly covered videos on Mississippi over the years. I think one that really stands out for me is, this one was weird, actually. It wasn't weird, but it sort of surprised me. Thank you, Laura, for that donation. Pennsylvania, good to see. And thank you for that, Jeanette. And thank you for being me. Thank you for being you. Really appreciate that. Okay. And so Mississippi made the list. And the video that I think I most spoke about Mississippi in would be 5 American states with way more rain than Britain. And it kind of surprised me that Mississippi does. And in fact, if you watch this video, all of those states along the sort of the Gulf states had just substantially more rain than Britain. And, back home, we always moan about the weather. We always moan about the rain. In my head, I assume, America, it's all sunshine and beaches. Sure enough, of course, in parts of southern Mississippi, that's true. But it has torrential rain as well, heavy, heavy rain. And so it made the list. It made it onto that particular video. And I will share the link to that video right here for all of you, but specifically folks from Mississippi. Rob says, I don't want to start a war here, but Rob says that Mississippi's motto is, at least we're not Alabama. I'm not getting into that. I don't shoot the messenger. I have no idea. But anyway, that link's coming in. It is incoming. All right. Well, where do we find ourselves now? We find ourselves at the state that watches me the least. And now I've seen a few guesses come in, but I want everyone to just flood the comments now with their prediction. Which state do you think watches me the least in the entire nation? There are 50 to go from. All right. I will tell you this. I've already seen the state in question. It's been mentioned a few times, a number of times. I'm seeing it a lot. I think a lot of you are onto a trick here, and it makes sense. The state that watches me the least is not even part of the lower 48. And of course, I've already mentioned Alaska. So it is Hawaii. Hawaii hasn't sort of discovered the joys of Uncle Toby in quite the great extent that many of you have. Although I have on occasion interacted with people from Hawaii in the comment sections and on these live streams, and that's always been nice. But again, much work to be done to try to win you over. And what I can say is that you might also, just like the folks in Mississippi, want to watch that video, 5 American states with way more rain than Britain, because this one surprised me even more than it did Mississippi, because Hawaii comes in at number 1 on that very score as well. Get torrential rain, deep amounts of rain every year. And I would never have believed that. I would never have thought it. So there you go. Okay, so what I will do is Hawaii is in the wrong pond, says Jeff, and that's perfect, really. I need to, maybe I am though, maybe I need to branch out a little more to the Pacific and pull in some of them. Thank you again, Dee. Maybe a trip to Hawaii would get people watching. This is true. This is true. I also do have my ukulele that I, pride in my possession. And I do want to do at some point a video talking about, American instruments or instruments that the US kind of gave to the world, musical instruments, and that would be a nice one there too. So I am sharing once again the link to the video on the rain, because I love rain. There it goes. There it is. And so there we have it. Those were the 10 states that have watched me the least in 2020. I think we're going to come back here next year at around this time and see if any of those states left the bottom 10. That's got to be the goal, I think, over the next year, both on my part and people who live in those states get talking about me. Thank you, Aces Down 1. Love your vids. I'm going to have to just click on this. Give me 1 sec. Love your vids. There are a few of us from Rhode Island. There we go. Brilliant. I'll help spread the word. I really appreciate it. Anyone who can just gets this channel to, succeed even more and to get my message out there of just, I don't know what my message is really, uncovering the memos that are lost in the pond. Okay, great. Thank you. And yes, I will have great holidays with my new sweater from Uncle Toby. Thank you, Beverly. I have a cat named Toby. Oh, brilliant. I have an uncle named Toby and I have a cat. So I can sympathize. And we watch you from Arizona. Well, thank you very much. Very much appreciate that. And also Tawaka BMS, a music nerd. So we'd love to see the instrument video. I think it's one of those that's on the horizon, the not too distant horizon. Okay, and let's make sure I didn't miss any more. Misconstrued. I play ukulele too. Well, great. It's one of those instruments that's just sort of really nice just to carry around, isn't it? It's very portable. And I realized recently that there's quite a lot of British people that play them, and there's some organizations where people play the ukulele. Who'd have known? Okay, now apologies if I missed any of your donations or thank yous from that point of view. I do apologize. I've seen another one come in here. Skyheim, thank you very much. And so what we're going to do, we've got plenty more Vlogmas videos coming. This in fact was a Vlogmas video. So this is tonight, but we have many more coming all the way up to Christmas Eve. And I'm very excited to do it. So I'm going to bid you adieu right now. I would serenade you out with the ukulele, but it's through there and it hasn't been tuned. So that would be a very terrible conclusion to this. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. And it's been terrific spending my Friday night with you. And I'm glad that you saw the funny side of this, because it could have gone horribly wrong. All right. Bye. Yeah. How do you end it again? End stream. That's it. That's it.